Well, here we go again. The Watchmen. As we know, the show, I've talked about it before over on my Midwestly channel, which, by the way, if you prefer a little spicier takes, I'm going to leave a link in the description to my Midwestly channel. You should definitely subscribe to that. I'm going to try to keep just one video a day there, but they're generally more lighthearted or a little more spicy, so I hope to see you there with your notifications on. But anytime we see a show that pushes an overt political ideology or a belief, in this case, white man bad for Watchmen, you see the same writers defending it. You see the same narrative. You see ultra high critic scores, ultra low user scores. And then within a week, you see the media talking about anybody who doesn't like it's a troll. Then you see some dumb actor from the show speaking out. And we've got exactly that again. It's like clockwork. Tick tock. Before we get into this video, just a quick word from our sponsor. Huge shout out to this video's sponsor, Domain, the trading card game. While this game is an early alpha version and browser only currently, Domain is a free TCG that can be best described, at least by me, as combining chess and a trading card game. It's a hardcore strategy game, but it's also very deep. It has simple mechanisms, but unlimited strategies. It's made by an indie developer in alpha, but still fully playable with 100 unique cards with many more to come. Players can't just copy decks and win. They must understand the game, constantly adapting to new situations by way of board tactics. And since the game is in alpha, they need help. They need people playing the game so they can balance it. So check out Domain by going to enterthedomains.com, link in the description and pinned comment below. Now, Watchmen's Regina King's take on the trolls who think the show is too political. Now, if you think a show pushes a particular stance or belief, then you're automatically a troll in the media's eyes because they agree. Now, The Watchmen is kind of a tale of two stories. I don't think the show is bad. In fact, I've watched the first couple episodes. I did a review of the first episode over on Midwestly. I might do a review of the second episode because it's got a lot of woke stuff mixed in with, like, the pros are it's pretty well made. The cons are the woke moments, the fact that it's pretty much paper thin, like more racism bad, but like, okay, what else do you have to say? So far, it hasn't said anything else. The fighting scenes are just awful and cringeworthy, but acting's okay. The acting's okay. The first episode was compelling, and I said in my review that I would give the second episode a watch, which I haven't watched it yet. But people are entitled to their opinions. But not according to Regina King, who watches The Watchmen. This question has taken a whole new meaning in the light of HBO's adaptation, particularly when it comes to the surprising number of, quote, so-called fans who have responded negatively to the show. That's right, you aren't allowed to love the graphic novel and not like the show. Only a few weeks have passed since Trolls review brigaded Batwoman, and now they're back at it again, flooding forums like IMDb with one-star reviews designed to drag down The Watchmen's overall rating. No show is perfect, no matter how much critics might love it, but there's a common critique that unites most of the detractors, and that's The Watchmen has been transformed into propaganda, or the wokeman, if you prefer. I agree, it is. And if these underlying things were in the graphic novel, maybe I missed it when I read it, when I was a kid. It's possible that's, maybe I need to go back and kind of reread through things and decide that, whoa, actually the wokeman was always the wokeman. No show is perfect. By framing the Rorschach as a symbol of white supremes, series creator Damon Lidloff has, according to one IMDb user, defecated all over it, Last Jedi style. Well, I don't disagree. I mean, people are so tired of this. Like, where was all this talk about these people 4 years ago? It's like the media, it's a language that the media has used to prop up a straw man of this giant group of people that don't like black folks that just don't exist. In fact, there is a percentage of people of all colors that don't like other people of other colors simply because of the color of their skin. It's not only white people, and they're all wrong. They're all idiots, and they're all backwards, okay? But that doesn't sell, all right? I meant this to be a bad example, but have people come up to me in the street saying, I'm Rorschach, or this is my story, and I'll be thinking, yeah, great. Can you just keep away from me and never come anywhere near me again for as long as I live? Despite all these bad tendencies, he's still heralded as a hero by the kind of alt-right trolls who condemn HBO's Watchmen. There's a lot of people in this group of people, by the way. You know, when you look at the reviews, the audience score is a 43%. The critics gave it a 94. The show itself is nowhere near a 94. It's probably a 75, I'd be willing to say. And it's looks like about the average between, you know, the audience score and the tomato score. Look, it won't be long now, I promise you, till Rotten Tomatoes deletes the audience score altogether. And the fact of the matter is, that's fine because nobody believes Rotten Tomatoes anyway. We just use it as a jumping off point to laugh at how out of touch critics are. To give the show a 94 is to not critique it for literally anything. It's ridiculous. The first episode was mediocre at best. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't a 94%, you know, certified fresh. But of course you have all these, you know, so what if the original Watchmen comics were not about politics, smiley faces, and nude blue guys? The truth is that fans who argue that the show is too political are fooling themselves, and Watchmen star Regina King agrees. Here we go. Here's your Ryan Roundhead Johnson moment, Regina. Don't screw it up. With some people, I wonder if it's one of two things. Were you truly a fan of the graphic novel? Because if you were, you'd realize there was a political story in there. And two, did it feel less political because you, as a white man right now, watching this, it's making you feel uncomfortable? Child, please. First of all, you're assuming that the only people that could have disliked your show are white men. You have no way of knowing that, all right? So sounds like Regina's got some problems of projection in and of herself. You don't know who's downvoting your show. It could be all brown women. You don't know. Now, are there some white men there? Of course. But you don't know that, Regina. And want to prove, you know, you don't need to understand the nuances of the graphic novel. You just need to understand the reaction. I state that the show is woke trash. Is it worth paying for HBO to watch? No. Will I watch a couple episodes? Maybe it'll get better. Sure, maybe. I'm not going to rush out to watch it when it's on. It's not water cooler TV. It's TV to point and laugh at. There are moments of awesomeness, and there's some genuine twists and turns in the first episode that were fun to watch. But there's a lot of woke stuff. You can look at Season 1, 98-43. HBO's Watchmen tells stories about America's past. Regina King on fighting the Supremes and the Watchmen. My community is living through this story. HBO's Watchmen is getting right-wing backlash, and it's as stupid as you might imagine. So here we go. But now look at just some opinions of people that watch the show, all right? This is the true litmus test. If the show isn't pushing a narrative, it's curious why all these people are saying this. Jamel, seeing white people getting terrorized by the police is nice. Dean, watching Watchmen and white people just evil mo. World Play King, watching Watchmen and the first episode of the series already making me hate white people, racist white people even more. What's her name? White people are demons. Wow, dear God, I'm sick of seeing this stuff they've done to us. Yes, I'm watching Watchmen. 2:26 a.m. The first 8 minutes of Watchmen has put the same hate back in my heart for white people that I had while working on my Tulsa riots project in college. Nah, I couldn't even get past 10 minutes of Watchmen without screaming, I hate white people. Uncle Al C, 5 minutes in a Watchmen show and I hate white people more than I already do. Charlie Armstrong, white people are evil. Firefist Jabo. 2 minutes in, and we're getting right to how evil white people have been. Watchmen, fire. All I can say is white people are the evilest people in the world, and that on folks and them. This is just a small sampling. Watchmen is following the comic, and it's got the white incels mad. I mean, why do you think people react this way? If a show wasn't pushing an agenda, why would this be what everyone's talking about? Man, Watchmen sure is pissing off a lot of white guys. You don't know. You don't know who reviewed this. Anybody who says that is lying, and they've got their own problems with race, apparently. Lindell saying of Watchmen the show isn't political, and then turning it around and making it about a woman of color hunting down white supremes who worship a fascist is my kind of power move. So apparently it's not just white dudes who are getting your political messaging. Is it, Regina King? Looks like people that you want to get the message are getting it and projecting it. And if you disagree with it, you're just a troll. Enjoy a one-season show. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.